Well, YouTube, welcome back. We're going to go over some more viewer comments right after this. Stay tuned. Be right back. Alright, so in this video, we're going to go over some comments on what is likely my most popular video I've ever posted, which was using a Baofeng handheld as a mobile in a vehicle. Some of the comments I basically skip over. Most of them are just goofy comments on the video quality, stuff like that. And as a note, if you're watching this channel to criticize the video quality because I don't have the latest and greatest tech to record with, well, unfortunately, that's not my main focus, is perfect quality HD cinematic view videos. It's not what I'm here for. It's the information you should be gleaning. So if you're concentrating on the video quality or, you know, not being perfect HD video, go to the channels that are spending the money on $1,000 cameras and whatever. That's not what I'm here for. And if that's what you're gleaning out of the videos, well, what can I say? You're just not paying attention, I guess, and you'd rather just complain about stuff than actually be productive or anything. Also, I notice most of the comments about stuff like that come out of people that have no videos, nothing. They're not contributing anything to the preparedness community other than snide remarks. So I'm going to let them stand. You can go on the channel, you can see the comments and who they're coming from. But I'm just not going to respond to them anymore because it's just kind of dumb, actually, at that point. But one comment on that video, a recent one, was interesting. It came in about a week ago from Anonymous MC7727, who says, if a nuke goes off, your radio won't work. And then kind of puts a few dots and a smiley face or an emoji there. Yeah, you're right. It won't work in all likelihood. Now, there is a company down in the States that does testing with EMP stuff, and they put a bunch of radios into an EMP chamber, a generator, and some of them worked, some of them didn't. So he very may well be right. The radio probably won't work. I mean, I'm not going to bet my life that this is going to come out on the good side of a nuclear EMP. But on that point, if a nuke goes off while I'm driving in my car, this is probably going to be one of the lowest priorities that I'm going to be concerned about. Number one is going to be, does my car still work? May or may not. There's a whole debate on that. But I wouldn't count on it. Number two, radiation. Number three, mass panic and widespread destruction, things like that, are probably going to be more on my mind than does my radio still work. However, that being said, I have taken some precautions. Let's start with, put this one aside for now. We'll get to that one later. Let's start with this one. Now, I've been EMP proofing a few things lately. So let's get into this bag and we'll see what's in here. Crack it open and start pulling some stuff out. In here, this kind of a miscellaneous mixed up bag. I had a lot of small stuff that I needed a space for, and this bag fit the bill. So it's not really one particular item in here, but there are a few things. The first thing is a fully charged Baofeng radio.
Frequency mode.
Frequency mode. There we go. I pull these radios out every few months, drop them in the chargers, charge them back up, put them back in the EMP proof bags so that I know that they're ready to go. And they're protected. If a nuke goes off, I'll still have a radio. On top of that, of course, the charging base for the radio. Add to that, I have two methods of powering that charging base. I have the 12-volt cigarette lighter plug, and in case there is a source of power still working, 110 power, well, I have the basic plug-in power supply for that base. Also in there, programming cable for the Baofeng. The headphone, it's a cheesy one. It's not great. It's the one that comes with it, but it will keep things a little more on the down low if I need to. Having things come into your ear instead of over the loudspeaker seems like a kind of great idea. As a matter of fact, if you take courses for ARIS or something like that, they will absolutely recommend that you have one of these, because if you're following people that may have sensitive information going back and forth, they don't want you having, that kind of information blasting through a speaker with a lot of people around. They'll recommend that you use a headphone to listen, at least. In addition to that, I have the Surecom SW33. It's a watt meter, power meter, SWR meter, just like that. It's a neat little handy tool to have, so I throw that in an EMP bag. Also in there is a cheesy, cheap, but working solar charge controller. I have solar panels that are not connected to anything. That should survive an EMP, but this probably would not. So that goes into an EMP bag. Also in there is a microcomputer. This is a, what do they call it? An Uno with the Atmega chip on it. Great little programmable thing, uses a language very similar to C++. As you can see, I have a bunch of wires coming off of this one. This has been pre-configured to help me program my TrueSDX if I need to. So I have all the instructions on how to hook this up to the TrueSDX and how to program anything, along with, and I have another EMP bag. It isn't very small, and that's because the only thing in this one is a USB key. On this USB key, if I can get this thing open, bear with me a second, I'll keep talking while I'm trying. On this USB key, I have firmware versions of all the Baofeng UV5Rs. I have a copy of Chirp on there to be able to program it. And I have the instructions and all the software backups that I need to be able to program my TrueSDX and reconfigure that and get that working if something should happen to it. Or Baofeng. I also have my proprietary, my programmings for UV5R radios on here. If I want to program one up very quickly for someone who's coming to help out and stay with us. In this EMP bag, I have a neat little gadget, and I think if you look through the channel you'll find a video on this too. This is a digital interface for the Baofeng. On one end we have a USB sound card to connect to the computer. On the other end we have connectors that will go into the Baofeng. This will allow me to use digital software and be able to send and receive digital signals on the UV5R. Kind of neat. Now, Continuing on with basic radio gear. In here, I know I've shown this one on other videos before. This is the true SDX setup. Everything in here. It's an HF rig, multi-band, multi-mode. Do 20, 40, 80 meter, a couple of other ones I believe that are in there. And in the pack I have the true SDX. I have the USB cable because there's a chip in there that connects to the computer. That's why that's in an EMP bag. And I have the antenna adapter, the QRP guys, no tune end-fed antenna, half-wave antenna in there. So that's set up, everything. And this is my only HF rig at the moment, the true SDX. This is the size of it. So yes, when I do take it out and practice and try and communicate with other preppers, and we have our standard operating procedures set up, we practice often. I'll take it out, I'll use it, and as soon as I'm done, it immediately goes back into this EMP bag. Because again, this is my only HF rig right now. Now, to go back to this bigger bag, you notice I mentioned a lot of things like connecting this to a computer to program the true SDX. The digital interface would have to go to a computer, the digital interface for the Baofeng. Here's some more gear that I've got EMP proofed up. In this one I have, see, that's the power cable for it, a small laptop, just a little notebook one like this, not very big. It's an old 32-bit, so it doesn't do everything that I'd like it to, but it does everything that I need it to, which is the important part. So that goes into the bag, along with a DVD player, CD, DVD player, reader, writer. Because this is a notebook, it's very small, it doesn't have one built in, so I bought a spare one. USB connecting to the computer, works great. Of course, I have the power cable for it. Again, in case somewhere, somehow, there is 125 volt or 110 volt, or my generator does still work. Remember, not every emergency is an EMP where the power grid is down. So I do carry the 110 volts because I can run them off of my generator. In case I cannot, I have a 12 volt power supply for the computer and a series of connectors. The connector I use for that computer is already on here. All the other connectors are going in there in case I need to power somebody else's or whatever. All in there. So EMP proof. So Anonymous MC 7727, more than likely, I would probably say a 90% chance, a nuke goes off and the EMP fries this thing. You're absolutely right, it's not going to work. But number one, not going to be my biggest worry if a nuke goes off while I'm driving my car. Number two, I've taken steps to protect some equipment. Also, I almost forgot about this one. Here's a little quick belt that I can slap on in the case of an emergency. There's a few accessories on here already. In here I have a Cat 5 tourniquet. In here I have an Israeli bandage. And another EMP-proof bag consisting of headphone for the Baofeng, a charged and ready to go
channel mode
Baofeng radio, pre-programmed to my frequencies, along with a decent quality LED flashlight. This one takes a 18650 battery, which I don't have the charger out for that, but I do have a charger in another EMP bag. That's put away a little further than I wanted to reach for this video. But I do have one of those also put away. It uses 5 volts. So any solar panel and that charge controller, and I'm going to be powering up and at least be able to charge up AA, AAA, CR123s, 18650 batteries. It'll do them all. It'll do NiCad if you have NiCads hanging around. If you do, they probably don't work anymore. They're that old at this point. Lithium ion, you name it, it does all of them. And again, it runs off of 5 volts, so very easy to hook up to a solar panel to charge up small batteries for small devices. Well, I hope this puts something to bed anyway, that, yeah, you're right. If a nuke goes off unprotected, radios like this, and you'll see the battery isn't on here. This is the one I use a battery eliminator on. This is the actual radio I used in the car. Not my favorite one. It's got a dark spot on the screen, but it does still work, so that's why I have this one as pretty much almost a throwaway one that I'll use in the car. On top of it, and by the way, this is not the only belt I have set up with the flashlight and the radio and everything else in it. I have a few of those set up because one radio is kind of useless. If you want to talk to somebody, you got to talk to somebody else that has a radio. So having more than one on hand for my immediate family members and a couple others set away for other people, neighbors, friends that come, whatever, I have comms ready for them. So again, nuke goes off, yes, you're right, an unprotected radio like this one sitting in the car likely won't work. I'm going to say 90% this is not going to survive a nuclear EMP, nor is it meant to. The stuff that is meant to is put away in EMP-proof bags. As much as I can, I do multiples of everything. I have information stored on CD, which is why I have the CD and DVD player. Especially helpful is the CD3WD set that I have, which is available if you go to CanadianPreppersNetwork.com, sign up for a $5 a year gold membership. You'll have full download access to the CD3WD. That's a mouthful, that one. The full CD3WD 6 DVD set, the original core sets. I also have the educational stuff, which is massive. Just absolutely massive. There's no way I could host it on my hosting account, but I do have it for myself. It's something you should probably look into getting. If the world goes to absolute bollocks, there's some educational material in there. Some of the classic novels are on there. All sorts of teaching materials from mathematics, from elementary all the way up into university, which is why it's such a massive thing. So for $5 a year for a gold membership at CanadianPreppersNetwork.com, you get full download access to the 6 core DVDs on the CD3WD set. I have that on DVD. That's why I have a DVD player. I also have other manuals, instructions, ebooks, you name it, all sorts of stuff has been burned onto CDs and DVDs. Probably the best way. I don't have those in EMP bags because I do not believe that CDs and DVDs would be susceptible to an EMP. Those are hard laser written, and you wouldn't need to protect those. It's not electronic in any way, a DVD. But the DVD player is, and that's why I have one set up and protected. As time goes on, everything that I've shown you that I don't have multiples of, I will have multiples of. I will get either another tablet or a notebook and protect that. I will get another HF rig and protect that. I will get extras of everything I have over time and protect it. Anyway, I hope this video helped someone, or at least explained why I'm not terribly concerned about an EMP blowing one single radio. It's because I have multiple backups for that, that are protected. Again, give a comment in the videos. Every once in a while I come on and I do a reply video like this, especially if I see an actual interesting comment, not something if you're going to complain about the video quality because there's a shadow on this side of my face and the sun is coming in the window on this side of my face. I'm not going to comment on that stuff anymore. It's just people being ridiculous and not absorbing the material that's being covered in the video. In any case, get yourself some EMP bags, protect your electronics, protect your stuff, because remember, you got to be prepared, Canada. It's a tough world out there.